Okay, we're on a new project now. We got a couple springers here and a front wheel we got to deal with. So this is a repop of a Harley springer, plus 2 inches it looks like. This here's a DNA copy of a DNA, a copy of a Paco. So that's like the third, fourth copy, so you know it's quality. So we're going to steal the rocker arms and hardware off of that fork here. And I'm going to put over here on this fork over here, and we're going to put this wheel into it and try to make it work. So that's the plan. We're going disc brake, so we got a caliper and that stuff here and a mounting kit. Got a file. You have to make these things work too. None of these parts fit as usual, so we got to make all this stuff work together. So that's the project for today. This is the stuff we welded up last night, so we're done with that for now. Junk out of the way. That'll be a project for later. Alright. Here's the axle that came with it. Oops, put this one down there. I put the rockers on the inside, like a 45, so like a big twin, a little bit shorter axle. See? So this time we have to flop it around the other way, I'm pretty sure. We'll figure that out in a couple minutes. Okay, there's some hardware here. Okay, so first thing I do is get these things working. So I think I'm going to work on the ride control stuff here first. See, I want to get it out of my way. That means I might as well work on it. Problem with these things is you're supposed to tighten this up and it's supposed to lock up, put tension on it. And these side straps are the rubbing surface. When all this stuff doesn't fit together correctly, it doesn't work. Typical reproduction crap. See, that's supposed to slide in and out, that's the first problem. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit too tight to actually work. Alright, working our way down. Alright. These parts have to slide on easily in order to work. Okay, so we already have a problem. So I'm going to file on this a little bit to make it work. Use a square file. Kind of go like that a little bit. Just work out the 4 sides of the square. See if that's enough. Obviously not. It's an improvement. But we need a little bit more. So you can see where the file mark was right here in the corner. Alright, so we knew we were going to hold this with a vise to get a little bit better holding power. Still have a vise here. There we go. Get some of this crap out of my way. We're going to work on it over here where we belong to. Where we belong. Alright. And vise. We don't need to take out a large amount of material, just a few thousandths all the way around. So now we got the hole squared up in there. There we go. Yeah, look at that. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay. Let's see if this works. Oh, these actually do work. These are loose. Get something tight there though. Okay. Got a burr right on the edge there. So we just take a fine file here. Knock off the high spot that's there. You can hear it. Oh, you can't hear it. It's the threads. The threads are the problem on that one. Alright, so it's hanging up on the threads because the threads are too big. Nice. But either way, I knocked off a couple burrs. Now it goes in out freely like it's supposed to. Okay, here's our little spring washer. It obviously fits. Alright. 25% there. See if the washers fit. Kind of. That'll work. Tight. 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 What a shocker, they're all tight. That's hard to believe. You can hear the steel hitting, as well as the lining material. Ooh, there's another one. So it doesn't take much, just a little bit. That little bit, so it makes it not work. It's like having your brakes dragging when you're trying to go driving the road. They work, but they cause me issues with other things. Three down, one to go. Oop. Okay, so all four of these now work like they're supposed to. So now maybe it'll go together. Okay, now this all pinches together from here all the way as a unit. So basically you have two lined washers, and you got a steel wash that backs up the back surface, and each one of those goes between the plate, goes up the center of these. That's what makes you drag. Assemble all this stuff up. Just have to line it up. Washer. There we go. Great. We're hitting on the spring pretty heavily. Oh, dumbass. Wrong side. I wonder what the problem there was. The problem was the dumbass putting it together. That was the problem. Next problem is this one doesn't want to go in there. Just got enough misalignment. It didn't want to go. There we go. There it goes. Okay, now this little spring here is what put tension on the knob so it doesn't unscrew. And then this bevel here goes up, goes against the bottom here like this. So it goes up against that so you can put it inside the clip. If you put it backwards like this, it spreads the clip out and the clip doesn't work. So you got to install this correctly. It also has to engage in a square. Hello? Hello? Yes. Yep, I'm working. I don't know. What are you missing? Just tell me what the part is. Just tell me what the part is. Okay. There's a fat one and a skinny one. I got them both. I should have both here. Okay, well, bring it over. I'll see what you need. You show me the book which one you want. I should have all the parts for that. Alright. Okay, bye. Alright. Now the square doesn't want to engage over here because there's not enough shaft sticking out to engage on the damn thing. Because everything's too damn big. Typical V-twin problem. I didn't check to make sure the square fit either. It does fit. Does that not fit there though? Problem is everything kicks out when you go to adjust it. It's all made wrong as usual. There it goes. Partially. Well, the clip went, not the spacer. There it goes. What a pain in the butt. But I got it. Now, the easier way would have been take it all apart and assemble it as a unit. If you pull this thing out and assemble it onto here and then drop it onto the fork, you can force it to go in. The problem is trying to get this spacer engaging on the square, but once it's in there correctly, it works. But if you notice how the spring quit's working, it's not working right now. If you watch them, they spread out as I torque this down, because it's made wrong. So as you start to put pressure on all this stuff, this spring had a bow in the bottom of it, and that's what makes it not work. So as I crank this thing down, you're compressing this spring here, which puts tension on all these uprights, and that is your shock dampening, basically. And that's pretty tight right there. Yeah, the springs are working lightly, but not much. Okay, well, it's assembled, so we know it fits. Okay, now I get to pull this thing out of my way. All this stuff is in the way when you're working on the rest of it. Or I can leave it assembled. Yeah, as pain as that was, I think I'll just leave it. I'm going to work on the fork down here now. Next problem. Okay, so we got to pull these rockers off of here. So just a matter of undoing these nuts. The locks are never been put on. This doesn't fit. That sucks. I was able to do these before. Let's see, I think I am if I do it the right way. There we go. Barely fits. It only has to barely fit. Sometimes this stuff's under pressure. In this case it is. Under a lot of pressure. Wonderful. The pressure's up in here on the springs. You would hope this one would be holding it, but obviously it is not. I think the stud itself is tight. I think the stud don't fit in the hole. One more fitment issue. There it goes. Yep. Stud's too fat to go in the hole. So once it's jammed in, it jams it on against his shoulder and it locks it up. one more good fitting aftermarket part. But it's off. That's all that matters. We can fix it from there. Okay, I'll get the same thing on the other side now. Go. What a shocker, the same problem. Not quite as tight. Threads didn't feel very good on that one. Cheap ass hardware. Threads aren't happy with going on this. Yeah, quality. That's why the first thing you do is throw away all the hardware you get with anything. It's usually junk. It's usually how it works. Okay, now they got a lot of powder coat inside of these holes, I'm sure. It's supposed to be 1/2 inch. Yeah, there's the problem. 1/2 inch don't fit. So now I get to hand fit it. Reamers work best. Feels like they drilled it at an angle. Yo!
Tatro, you back there?
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore you though.
Your dog's growling at me.
Well, work your way past him. Come on in. Alright. Alright, that's how you do that. We'll be back. Alright, back to work. Another interruption there for about an hour. Okay, we got the holes all reamed out here, so now let's swap out the fork to the other one. Gotta pull off these ones. Ah, it's heavy. Okay, this one here has custom rocker studs on this one, so we just gotta blow them off. Alright, that one's done. Oh, gee, that thing's still heavy. These things are solid steel, these stupid ass forks. So they're heavy. Okay, put this one back up. Oh, try to drop it first. Okay, now these are going to go on the outside of the fork now. What the hell they got going on here? Oh. No, they go on the inside. What the hell? See how these are made? Oop. Get the camera so low. A little bit of in-play issues here, see? A little bit more in-play than is needed. So I have to figure out what we're going to do about that problem. Some kind of a thick washer. Typical aftermarket stuff, it's made wrong. See, the studs are way too long. Shouldn't be an extra 1/4 inch of clearance in there. So these either have to be turned down or we have to figure out a way of making this work. What fun. There's no room for a nut. This nut's too short. The stud's too short here to put the nut on there. So you need a 1/4 inch more nut. So this whole stud is way too short. So this stud needs to be turned down. They didn't make the studs the right length. The overall length is okay. The problem is that's too short. So you can't just put a washer on there. You could, but you only got a few threads to hold the nut on with. So you're barely at the bottom of the cancellation there on the nut. So these are made completely wrong. Why would that shock anybody? Aftermarket parts are made wrong. So that means either got to make these work or I got to get different stuff. Right now there's nothing available, so that kind of tells you where you're at. And look, these are even 2 different widths. See how this one's shorter than this one? Now is that the rocker or is that the stud? Okay, about 87. Nothing like being equal. This one's 67. Oh, what happened? Number changed. There's 67. Okay, there's a washer. Oh, there's a washer on the inside over here. I didn't see it. Okay, so those are the same. So these studs are different. Yeah, there's a thick one and a short one. So let's go see if the fork down here is made differently. Maybe that's why they're different. Okay, that's 250, 1/4 inch. And there's your difference. 350, 100,000 different. Okay, so that's different because of the fork is different on that front end than this front end. Whereas on this one, this one's 280, this one's 1/4 inch down here. Yep, 280. Forks are a little bit different. So the front leg is actually thicker than the back leg. Nice V-twin. You would think the back leg's made out of thicker material than the front, but I guess not. Alright, so to make these work, these have to be individually shortened up quite a bit. So actually doesn't really matter on that because installation is installation. care how much the bolt sticks out, doesn't matter to me. Don't lose that washer. Enough fun with custom parts. See, easy jobs get to be really hard real quick. Okay, we have 930 thou. Probably need about 10 thou of in play at least. So we need to cut this down to 940. The only problem is how you're going to hold on to the damn thing. All you got's right here, and that ain't enough to hold it. There is no center in it. You could center it here and hold it here, and then you could cut this with no problem. But you have to put a little center hole right there to have something to hold it, which is going to screw up the chrome. But I don't know any other way of doing it. Yep. So we need 940 and we got 120. So we're 160 over on that one. And this one here is 240. So this one's even longer. I don't know why they'd make that different. See, the rocker's the same thickness, so there's no reason for those studs to be different. They need to be different because of the overall length, but that'd be it. Maybe there's an overall length change here. Let's see, that is 75. Yeah, there's a difference right there. Alright, so these overall lengths are too much also. Alright, so that's going to be a problem. There's no way these things had much thread on them, I guess. What do they do different? Oh, that's what they're doing different. Okay. See how they're made? They have big ass holes all the way through. Yeah, I didn't think things were that loose. Yeah, see these things slip all the way through? Alright, so that's what they're doing. That's why these worked on this bike. Alright, now I see what they're doing. So they work on one bike but not the other. Alright, so these studs aren't going to work for us here. Alright, so we're back to needing studs that we don't have. Alright. So I gotta see if I can find Paco. Paco makes this kind of a stud. So I'll have to order some Paco ones up. These aren't going to work. So my easy quickie repair is not going to work because it's all wrong. Because this doesn't fit. And you can't bore this out, put a big hole in it because there's no metal in it. I wouldn't do that anyway. Alright, so that's it for today. Because we have come to a major stopping point that we can't fix here. At least not very easy. So I could take these and turn them all down and make them work. There's two different overall lengths, but big deal. I can make it work, but yeah. I'll just get the correct stuff. Alright, that's it for today on this one.